Hi, today we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting fractions when there's not a common denominator. Now, back in elementary school, we started looking at adding fractions, but the denominators were always the same. Like this one, 2/10 and 7/10, where 2 plus 7 is 9, and we keep the denominator the same. We might have seen something like this, where 1/3 plus 2/3 is 3/3, which gives us a whole of 1. But now that you're in middle school, we start looking at apples and oranges, where the denominator of 4/5 plus 3/4 just can't be added. So what do you do when you have two different things? Well, let's take a look. We have some basic steps for combining these two fractions. When there's an unlike denominator, like in 4/5 and 3/4, the first thing we need to do is find the least common multiple of the two denominators. Then we rename the two fractions using scale factor, or we add them and subtract them, if you're supposed to do that. And finally, we always simplify. The first step, as I said, was finding the least common multiple. So the least common multiple of 4 and 5, if we search through, there's a 20 here and a 20 here. So our least common multiple is 20. We rename the two fractions by multiplying by scale factor. 4 times what is 20? It is 5. And whatever we do to the denominator, we're also going to do to the numerator. So we have 3 times 5 is 15, and 4 times 5 is 20. Now we have to do our oranges, our 4/5. What do we multiply 5 by to get to 20? Well, 5 times 4 is 20. So we need to do the same thing to the numerator, and we have 4 times 4 is 16. Now we have like denominators. Let's see what we do next. We need to add them up. 15/20 plus 16/20 equals, well, if you said 31/20, you would be correct. Now, we do need to simplify this, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and simplify this. This becomes 1 whole. Subtract out. We have 1 whole and 11/20 left. Let's take a look at a couple more problems. The least common multiple between these two problems, 2 and 5, is, if you said 10, you would be correct. So 1/2 becomes 5/10, and 2/5 becomes 4/10. 5/10 minus 4/10 is 1/10. Let's look at one more example. We have 1/3 plus 7/10, and we need to find the least common multiple. So let's think about this. We're going to skip count our 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Wow, finally to get somewhere that has a 0. So 10, 20, 30, that is going to be our least common multiple. What do we multiply 3 by to get to 30? Well, that would be 10. So 1 times 10 is 10. So 1/3 becomes 10/30. And 7/10, we have to multiply 10 to get to 30 by 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. So we have 21/30. Once again, our problem is 10/30 plus 21/30 is 31/30. We need to simplify. It becomes 1 and 1/30. Just remember these 4 basic steps for finding the least common denominator, and you will be all set in adding and subtracting fractions in no time. Looking forward to seeing you in class. Have a good day.